You're listening to Brazen Exchange.
This is me dancing my way into the new year, and I'm definitely going to dance out by God's grace. Welcome to Brazen Exchange. I'm your host, Vanessa Amadi, and it's a delight to be back. I am super excited for this season, and I have a special series for you that I'm going to let you in on very soon. How are you doing today? I'm sure you can see and you can hear, and I'm sure you're noticing something new in our setup today, or in my setup today. In my previous episode, well, last year, I talked about my plans for my podcast this year. And turns out God just loves me, okay? He brought some very special people into my life and they made my dream come true in an unexpected way because I didn't even plan for it to go this way, but here we are. Sometimes the best things are unexpected, and we'll just take that as it is. Life is beautiful that way. Tell me what you think about this whole new setup. Drop your comments below and share your observations, okay? My 2026 came with a gift, which I'm going to share with you right now. So not only did I start this year with an upgraded production, I have an announcement to make. I was selected for a grant. I know you ask, what grants? I'll tell you. Africa No Filter, in partnership with Ford Foundation, came together to come up with a project called the Work Reimagined Story Lab, where creators and journalists like myself tell compelling stories about young Africans navigating work and adapting to the digital age, from remote work to freelancing, gig employment, and several other variations that we have going on. This led to the birth of the Future of Work in Africa series, created specially for you so that you and I could both look at the digital economy through the lens of the gig worker, tech worker, through the lens of even policy, what the law has to say about it, because really what the law says is important. That goes a long way. HR and many others. So we'll be looking at our digital economy, whether there is growth, whether we're going somewhere, whether we still have a long way to go. We'll be looking at our digital economy through the lens of these people. So this is a series created specially for you. It's going to be educative, informative at the same time, and well, the stories have always been 100 on Brazen Exchange. So you're in for interesting, really interesting stories this series. So this is a must watch. If you're listening via Spotify, I advise come run to YouTube and watch this video. In fact, the entire series, watch the video on YouTube. Just come and join in this celebration and this upgraded production that we have going on. Don't let it go to waste, okay? All thanks to African Theatre and Ford Foundation for making this happen. That said, meet my first guest. He's a tech worker. He's going to tell us a bit about himself and how all of this came to be. Don't forget to drop your comments below to add to this conversation, especially if you can relate. Enjoy.
My name is Tochike Zokafa, but yeah, Trae is your fault. That's my moniker. That's what I use online. So I'm a software developer. Yes, that's been my dream job forever. After a long career in different places, and I run Tifo Technologies. I believe strongly that to be successful in life, you have to do the hard things. When you put a lot of effort and do the hard things, you get better rewards. And I'm a lifelong learner. Right now, I build tools that can help the African ecosystem or to solve real world problems using technology. So I'm just a simple person using code to make a living and make the world a better place. That's about me.
Before tech, you were a regular Joe, you were a full-time salesperson, and sometimes you dabbled into teaching, compliance. Can you tell us a bit about that and how you made the switch to tech?
As most people, I read economics post science. That's what I read. I've studied in UNN. So that's why I have my first degree in economics and post science kind of combined. Then, as most people, NYC I taught. So yeah, no, to teach the kids I taught. Then my first job, I worked in a bank, Intercontinental Bank. So I was a banker for about 3 years, and I was pushed to sales. I started with internal control compliance. Then I was pushed to sales in banking. And I later joined FMCG, that's fast moving consumer goods. That's all these consumer goods markets. I joined them as a salesperson there. So I was in Nigerian breweries and then several other companies. Yeah, I've been a salesperson most of my life. From there, I moved to Rent Money, which is a fintech. So then later, I was like, it happens to most people. And by the time you get to my age, you see that, do I want to do this all my life? Is this what I really want to do the rest of my life till I die? Then you start to introspect and then you think about what will really make you happy, give you fulfillment, give you money, take care of your children or whatever. So it's people, most people, there's a kind of like a common mid-career or mid-life crisis, or you might want to, what you want to, to give you the best of your life. So it happened. But I've always loved tech, but I guess poor guidance. Maybe I was stubborn or whatever. But I've always loved tech. I've always been involved in tech technology and being computer savvy. So I was like, I really need to make this move eventually. But I've always dabbled and started and stopped. So I now had the opportunity sometime in 2020, like, let me dedicate myself fully to tech. So yeah, I started learned a lot. You have to learn so much. Learned later, got some internship, and then I started got my first job. Did that for almost a year. Then I started on my own freelancing. So it's always been a part of me. I've been a smart kid in school and all that. I've always been computer literate, technology literate, computers and all that. And eventually, programming is what I want to do. So that's why now, when I had the opportunity, had the finance and everything to make a switch, and that made the switch. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. Still very much a junior software developer, but it will get better as time goes on.
What's a journey? Maybe start there. But can you tell us
Yeah.
about
Yes.
your thoughts on the digital economy and the opportunities that are available for young people, but probably they are not aware that these opportunities exist?
Would I say they're not aware? Right now in this youthful generation, everybody wants to be an influencer. Programming and all that, okay. People might not be no that one takes more time, more investments. Don't People want quick returns basically. That's why everybody wants to be an influencer. I get followers. So other tech is very wide. There's so many parts of tech. There's software development, there's mobile development, building apps, there's people that build computer games, people that build cartoons, motion animations, so many different kind of fields in tech, data science, so many. So those ones that are more difficult, they in the long term they'll likely give you better results because things that when you're easily replaceable, you can learn in 1 week, 2 weeks. Those jobs might not pay so well, but those that take years or months of study, they might eventually long term pay you better. So those fields are not maybe people are not so aware of them, and then maybe the patience and all that and the resources and all that. So when you get the opportunity for those kind of hard, more difficult parts, please, I encourage people to young people, especially when you start early. You start in school, 18, 17, but some of the skills it takes you years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So when you start early, you really give yourself a great opportunity. You start by 18, by the time you're 22, 23, you started earning your good money, and then you can imagine how you've been 10 years time. So I didn't have the opportunity. Maybe I was, I don't know, but I don't want to regret. But yeah, so people in school now, university, NYC, start early, build those skills, and then you give yourself a great chance of having a better life, moving abroad and all that, seeing the world, and then earning well. So yeah, those difficult test skills, when you're young and you have time to really learn them, please take advantage. Just be patient and be consistent. And in a couple of years, 3, 4, 5, you start to see results. So yeah, it's not just everything about Facebook influencing comedy. So those harder skills, tech skills, yeah. I encourage people that are younger to try and be patient and pursue them. That's what I would say.
Okay. Okay. I like that you mentioned various opportunities for young people. We went from having this traditional form of work where people show up at the office 9 to 5. There is no such thing as remote, to now having gig work, working remotely, even those relocating out of the country just to pursue
Yeah.
their work. How would you say that Africa in general is faring in regards to our digital economy? Are we thriving? Are we crawling our way there? Have we gotten there? What are your thoughts?
Africa is not as developed as other continents of the world, the Americas, Europe, Asia, but I think our youths are trying their best. There's still a lot more to do. Our government can be more compassionate and they provide resources, create a enabling environment instead of trying to embezzle and steal. But we are getting there. Our youths are getting there. Those of us already in system, we need to pay it forward. Try and bring those behind us and give them opportunities and show them the way. But Africa is doing fairly well. Nigerian programmers are. You heard about Paystack. Paystack, it's now very big. You heard about Flutter. We've heard about recently. What was the company? These people they had a contract with PayPal. Tayo Ovieso, I forgot the name right now. He had a contract. PayPal is coming back to Nigeria, so we're doing quite well. But there's still a lot more room for improvement. So when opportunities grab them as they come, and then encourage others to also come as well. But there's a lot more we can do. In the environment, government should focus on education, not just sharing rights. Education, build them classrooms from primary schools and everything. Let people be educated, let them be enlightened, and know they can make better things for themselves. And our position is to try and give back. Let's develop, give us the basics. We need the basics. We need steady light, steady power, food, and all that, so that people can concentrate and they're not distracted. So it's everybody can do better. But we are trying. There's room for improvement, and then one should be on deck, basically. But you are trying.
The youth are trying. You mentioned
Yep.
in your article how when you initially wanted to get into tech, you had to
Yep.
draw inspiration from your fitness journey. And as you started, you realized that, okay, even the people that started tech with you and started fitness with you, there was something you said about how tech and fitness are similar in the sense that people can start eager, excited, and at the end of the day, they drop off. You had two bodies who dropped off. Why do you think that is? And what are the common misconceptions that people have about digital work in Nigeria?
Yeah, tech and fitness, they're true. They're closely related. There's a lot of hype about tech. Hype, quick money you earn. And things have changed a bit, like maybe like 6, 7 years back, 2016, 17, 19, people were hired based on potential. You could just know a little bit of JavaScript and get your first job. That was when Andela was recruiting people into JavaScript and CSS, and they will recruit you and train you. So then there was a lot of potential. But now with AI, the bar has been raised tremendously. You need to know maybe what you need to use like 7 years back to get a job. You need to know like times seven right now because of AI. AI is making developers so productive. Maybe then, maybe back then, one senior developer only like there are many tasks you could outsource to a junior developer, but now he can do them. So AI can do that in 30 minutes. So you need to know so much more. The bar has been raised. So you need to be really. It's like fitness. There's a lot of like new year, new me. I want to be fit. I want to lose it. I want to do this. There's a little of excitement, and then after time, it fizzles out. So yeah, as far as being passionate about it, having that commitment, you have to have the consistency. That passion is good, but consistency, dedication, discipline to keep on going over. But results are never one day. A tree does not grow in a single. A tree takes like a year or 2 years. It doesn't grow overnight. It takes time. So you have to have that commitment, but also consistency. So that's why tech is like fitness. I want to be fit, but if you're not doing it every day, you won't get there. So that's why in my journey, why I see people, many people don't see it through. So as far as loving it, you have to start today, continue tomorrow, next tomorrow. Just have to. That's how tech and fitness are like. That's how what I've seen people that that's how they're like. But so you have to have that deep passion and discipline to see it through. Knowing that in the end, in the very end, in the long run, it's worth it.
You've seen those ads on social media where they tell you you just need a laptop and you don't really need
Yeah.
much. Everything is easy, is a remote work. What do you think about that? When people see those
Okay,
things,
yeah,
they
yeah,
think that, oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
it's
So
easy.
the misconception is that there's a lot of hype, a lot of hype. There's a lot of get rich quick hype about tech. Get rich, that's get rich, and that's what I don't blame the youths. It's poverty. We're in poor nation, so everybody wants to be. people are suffering, they want to come out of the situation. So there's a lot of people dwell on hope and hype and all that stuff. So that misconception is there. Tech is not overnight. You don't just, some things you can overnight, you can meet someone, give you a contract, but tech, it takes hard work and discipline. So it's not overnight. It takes now programming, it takes years. 2, 3, 4 years. It takes years. It takes years to be good enough to start earning good money, to learn enough to be useful, to learn enough to be able to actually tell somebody comfortably can do something for him. So it takes time. But the misconception is that it's a get rich quick scheme. It's not a get rich quick. Something I learned, tech is not a get rich quick scheme. It's a get middle class slow scheme. It will get you comfortable, but in a slow time. So it's slow. It takes time. But once you're dedicated, you're disciplined and patient enough and passionate, you eventually get there and be fine. So yeah, it's a get rich slow scheme, not get rich quick. So that's the misconception. Overnight you blow. So it takes time, dedication, patience, and hard work. So that's the misconception about it. So but if you see it through in the end, then you will see benefits both in tech, both in fitness. So because you're always working out, always eating right, sleeping well, eventually you start to lose weight and you start to feel healthy, more energetic. So likewise in tech, be patient and long run you'll be fine. That's the misconception about it.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah,
In one word,
yeah.
describe your tech journey.
My tech journey, especially when I started after pandemic 2022, when I started full time. It's been a in one word. I'll say it's fulfilling because that's what I love. It's been fulfilling. Maybe in terms of finance, I'm not there yet, but I'm happy doing what I want to do. I'm happy that knowing that I can do this all my life. This is what I want to. I want to get old being in tech, start my own company, employ people, build great products. So this is for me. I'm fulfilled. This is what I want to do till I die. So I'm fulfilled. I love every moment about it. Learning new technologies, learning new ways to use code to solve basic human problems. So for me, it's fulfilling. And I see it as a lifelong what I want to do all my life. And so, yeah, I'm fulfilled. I'm on that path. I'm on the journey. I'm enjoying it. And yeah, ups and downs, but I'm on it. So it's fulfilling for me. I'm happy. I'm at peace. This is what I want to do. There's job satisfaction. That's how I'll see it. And I know that eventually I'll be very happy and start taking more items off my bucket list. So for me, it's fulfilling. That's how life is. Ups and downs, but I'm fulfilled. This is what I really want to do. Nobody's pushing me, no compulsion. I'm happy and comfortable where I am. So it's fulfilling. I would say it's fulfilling. Yeah.
Okay, what a word.
Yeah.
So you mentioned in your article how fatherhood played a big role in keeping you motivated in your tech journey. By the way, how is fatherhood going?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. My kid is 2.5 years. Yeah, 2.5 years old. Yeah, and then yeah, we're also working on subsequent releases. But yeah, so far it's great. Yeah.
Just like how fatherhood is helping you to maintain your focus in tech, what are the risks that people are not aware of that comes with digital work in Nigeria?
Okay, the risks involved in digital work. Yeah, so yeah, you're correct. Fatherhood, because the only excuse is your child. You can tell excuses that I didn't get this because of this and that. But your kid does not. You can't give a kid an excuse. He has to eat, he has to sleep and play and all that. So yeah, fatherhood is motivating. You have to be dedicated to your child. So to be able to do that, you have to make sure that you bringing in money. So it keeps you on your toes and all that. So the risks involved in digital work, it's difficult. Yeah, that's number one. It's difficult. You have to learn a lot. Beginning is not easy, undervalued, underpaid, but you eventually get there. And then currently, right now, the rise of AI, people are being replaced and all that. So you really need to be on top of your game. Top. It's not just before you could just like passively get by, you can do the deliverables and all that. But now you need to be really passionate about it. Passionate that you need to really love if you're a programmer like me, you have to really, really love what you do. It has to be part of your life, what you think about and everything, enjoy it. But if you don't enjoy it, you won't push yourself to keep on learning, keep working on top of your job. Programming is a lifelong learning path. You have to learn new things. There's always innovations and things are changing, new packages, new programming languages, new frameworks. So so the risk is that you have to keep on learning. For you to be in this field for programming, you have to keep on learning. If you didn't like book in school, it might not, You have to keep on reading, keep on studying, keep on analyzing. So you have to keep on learning. That's the way you approach your game. That's a program. And then you have to, not so much because AI is getting very fast. So basically what happens is eventually people that are not really passionate about it, they'll drop out. But those that are really good, they'll still be useful. And the gap, I guess the gap will widen. So people that don't know, people that know, the gap will widen. But those that know will be so much valuable to not to control build things. Why those that don't know will be relying on what those other guys are building and they are maintaining. So and then generally when you start, you have to pay your dues. So it's pay low pay to just learn the ropes, get experience and all that. So that's a risk. You have to be patient and pay your dues basically. It's not easy. It's risky, it's not easy, it takes time. Of course, in Africa, when you start, people cannot really pay you well here, pay your work. So eventually that's why people go remote work and then work for others abroad. So you have to eventually somehow think outside the country, be a remote worker, try to immigrate, get your visa so you can get paid well and and take care of your family. So it's kind of risky. The whole visa stuff, you have to pay so much and you have to justify why should we get a visa. So those are kind of the risks, the sacrifice you have to put into. Or if you know what you want and then you focus, eventually I think you know how to play safe, you know how to get by. That's how you mitigate against all these risks involved. Yeah.
You've mentioned AI. AI is learning at a very fast speed, and if you as a tech worker or a digital person are not up to par, you might be replaced. So what do you think about like the skills gap? You also mentioned being underpaid and then probably having to now travel out of the country in order to get better opportunities. But what do you think of international companies or even working remotely and people outsourcing African talents for cheap price? Because when you look at it, sometimes the money that is being paid to your abroad counterparts is far higher than the money that you get paid here in your local country.
There's something called standard of living. 90% of Africans abroad are not doing more difficult things than you, but it's just because of their location. That's why and by the time they bring you back here, they spend more. So that's how the world is.
In regards to challenges that digital workers face, you have things like no electricity, which is affecting remote work. You have things like poor internet connection and other things really
Infrastructure,
affecting
yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right now, I don't have power. There's no electricity right now in my house. There's no electricity, but I have my battery. I changed my laptop battery recently, so it's can take me for 2 3 hours. And also have a power bank as well. I have solar. So basically, once you're a digital worker, You have to get all these things to keep you online, keep you productive. You have to, if it's a phone, get a power bank, get solar electricity, even if it's a small charger, get good batteries. Those are the things you just face. Once you start to earn some good money or some whatever, just try and invest in all these kind of things that can keep you online, power banks, solar, and the rest, and all that. And if you can, as much as possible, there's something called co-work spaces. You can go there. You don't have to go and rent an office. Like co-work space, you can just go and pay for a seat. You can pay for a month, pay for a week, and do your work there where they study like that. So once you start to do that, look into getting the co-work space that you can pay for. You can work from there. If you have relations or schools that have satellites, please by all means network and do what you have to do to get your money. So you have to key into all those things that will keep you all those power energy. That's just how it is. Once you're a digital worker, if you know places that they have good electricity, try and get your house there. You have relations, try and stay there. You mustn't rent a house. If you have relations that can accommodate you, go and stay down there. We can do your work, and then later on you can have all those things. You eventually be able to get your own place. So you have to just be you have to be smart, you have to be economical, you have to be pragmatic and do what is necessary so you can keep earning. That's all. The government needs to do better, but pending all these challenges, you have to help yourself and be pragmatic to keep earning. That's just what you have to do.
I like how you mentioned the government. So, in regards to policies and systems, what do you recommend that we do, or that the government does to help us get to that inclusive, equitable, and sustainable future of work in Africa?
When I was in sales, I was a leader, of course. After you spend time, you led teams, you have to motivate your teams to hit your targets and meet your goals and all that. So the government needs to, they need to reorient themselves that leadership is about service. It's not about you're now your dogu, you're buying this building. It's about service. You're a leader to serve your people. So you have to, it's about service, not living flashy. It's about service, make your people happy. So we need to be more selfless. Let's build the roads, instead of build the actual road, provide electricity, build the houses, equip your schools, equip your schools. So a leader should be more selfless. Please and please. Election next year, be more selfless. Think about your people first before yourself. That's just what they have to do. Be less selfless and provide the amenities. If it's water, if it's rules, education, if it's healthcare, so that we can all have a better life. That's what everyone needs to do, yeah.
You're listening to Brazen Exchange.
There is a mini game of Would You Rather. This is where I present two options to you, and then you pick the one you'd rather do or you'd rather have. So, are you ready?
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah.
Okay. So, let me present my book. So, would you
Okay, that's
rather
right.
learn digital skills online or through formal training?
Would I rather uh can I can I pick puts? Well, I guess online. I guess online, and then eventually you since intermingle and actually make physical contact. But yeah, I think it's more convenient at your own pace. Digital skills for me, yeah, than actually physical. Yeah, there's a lot that
Okay.
can happen through the internet. So yeah, rather digital skills, learn online. Or yeah, I would have
Okay,
preferred that
digital
way.
skills online. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's fair. So, would you rather gig work or to relocate for digital opportunities?
Okay. I'm much older now. I guess if I was in my twenties, straight up relocation. I would relocate straight up. Yeah. If I'm younger, I would relocate. But now, right now, I'm not so crazy about. So I think for me about gig, work, I'm trying to build my remote work, my earning potential, investments, and all that. So for me, it's more about gig work than relocation. But if I was younger, twenties, definitely I would relocate and then eventually maybe come back later. But right now, I'm trying to more about gig work for me. Yeah.
Okay. And then, would you rather AI tools or human creativity?
Mm, basically, there's no in reality. You need to know what you're doing before you can use AI well. If you don't know what you're If you don't know your nails, AI will lead you astray, but AI does make mistakes and you cannot control it, you cannot correct it. That human, you have to know the fundamentals first of all. You cannot use AI to enhance and do things faster. So human creativity first of all, and then of course AI now as an extra power. But human creativity is the most fundamental first of all, yeah. And then AI tools to now speed up the process. So human
Okay,
creativity for me first of all.
okay. How about certifications or hands-on experience? Which do you prefer?
Okay. In my field, software development, it's more about hands-on experience. It's less about I have this, I have that. It's more about hands-on. I built this. Where's the evidence? You show them and all that. So for me, it's about hands-on experience. As a software developer, yeah, in my field, it's less about certification. So yeah, hands-on experience for me. Trump certifications. Yeah.
And then finally, policy reforms or market innovation.
Policy reforms, market innovation. I think policy reforms is yeah, policy is the first thing. You have to reform the policy and implement them, and then. But I think policy is the more essential thing. That's what I would stick to first of all. Change the policy, change our Bible of ours, or the way we believe, the way we look at things. Yeah. So first of all, get the right policy, get the right laws and rules in place. I think yeah, that's what I would choose. Yeah.
What is your hope for the future of work in Africa?
My hope is that our enabling environment gets better so that Africans, children, everybody can have a better standard of living, live better lives. And people get better jobs and there are more opportunities so they can take care of themselves, get jobs and improve our living. Yeah, improve our living. That's my hope. My hope that everything gets better. That's just my hope.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing your
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me as well. And then good luck
Mhm.
with your program. I'm sure in the years to come, you'll be really big out there. You'll be a big brand. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This series was funded by Africa No Filter. The stories and conclusions shared within are those of the host and guest and do not necessarily reflect the positions or policies of Africa No Filter.
Till next time on Brazen Exchange, I'm your host, Vanessa Imadi. Goodbye.